What's up, guys? Let's go ahead and hop right into the brand new season Blacksail for Torchlight Infinite and kind of explain a beginner's guide and how the mechanic works and some of my suggestions for you guys. So starting right out, what does the mechanic actually involve in terms of like what you need to do? We're gonna go ahead and do a map. We'll do it on time arc 7 and kind of show you how to do the map mechanic. Well, it can actually appear earlier on before you get to like the map system in the Netherrealm, but pretty much you're going to be having to defeat like the campaign boss, and then you'll have access to the mechanic. So once you have access to the mechanic, you'll see over in the top right. We're just going to do a quick map over here, and I'll show you the full walkthrough, and then we'll also do the boss kind of at the end after you do your 6th invitation, so to speak. So we'll go ahead and go in, and I'll explain everything. So starting right off, what you want to look for is over in the top right here. You'll see that it says like 0 out of 8. We're gonna have these monsters that appear on my mini map in the top left, or I can just hit the back and you guys can see it over here. What you're gonna look for are these purple monsters. So I'll show you exactly what they look like when we come up to one. So you see one on the map right here. It's that purple monster. Once we eliminate it, we will then have the number turn 1 out of 8. Now, the more that we do, the more options that we have at the very end of the level. So, for the sake of this video, we're just going to kind of rush it, and we'll look for those purple monsters. Now, the boss counts as 1 out of the 8. So, on the map, you want to kill enough enemies. If you want the most amount of options, you want to do whatever the max number is minus 8. So, in our case right now, in this instance, it would be 7 out of 8. Now, you can go up to 10. It kind of just depends on what you roll. As you progress further and get your time marks up, this will increase later. And the boss, like I said, will also count as 1. So we'll go eliminate this boss real quick. And now that the boss is eliminated, we can activate the League mechanic. However, it's 6 out of 8. I want it to be 8 out of 8, just for at least the example of showing you guys. So once again, look for those enemies on the map. This map's relatively small, so we should be able to get to it real easy. Alright, so we eliminated the last one. Again, the boss will count as an extra 1 as well. So just keep that in mind. You'll do 7 out of 8, and then the boss will count as 1. And then you go up to this object here, and then you will interact with it. So we're going to click on it. Or you can click on it over here, I believe. And we'll open it up. And you'll see all of these different options. Now, the one that I really like to get is Whispers of Wonder and anything that has a chance to drop an additional flame fuel. You can see the current ones that I've already selected, and I'll briefly go over kind of what you're looking for. Now, this is only my suggestion. It depends on what you want to go ahead and get. I want currency. I want to get the Flame Elementium because I want to get like upgraded pieces of gear, and usually in the market, that's the going rate for items. That's what everything is basically traded in. So these are the different options. You can get Hero Relic, you can get Legendaries, but my suggestions for most players are just going to be anything that has to do with getting Flame Fuel or what's called Whispers of Wealth. If you click on it, it'll kind of tell you what it gives you. But we're really looking for Whispers of Wealth, and I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like. So we want this one that drops additional Flame Fuel. So I'm going to hit confirm. We're going to have 2 waves of enemies that come out. You do want to stay inside of the circle here. If you go outside, it'll have a timer. And you don't want to go outside of it. So I do knock back with my build, so sometimes the enemies can get knocked back pretty far. But for the most part, since I'm playing a ranged build and I'm using controller, it's real easy. It kind of auto-targets for me. So I can kind of sit in the middle if I want to. Now, during the League mechanic, when we're actually fighting the enemies, there may be some AoE on the ground. There's like this giant like star pattern that comes out. There's tornadoes that come out. Don't stand in the AoE. It'll deal damage to you. So once we complete it, we'll have our reward. So we can hit it over here and open it up. So these are our options in terms of like what we can get for a bonus when we open up our chest. So we have Whispers of Wealth, which is the one we usually want, but I don't really care about Fluorescent Memories. I'm looking for Flame Fuel. This is actually one of the better ones. This is Whisper of Wonder. We're getting a chance for Flame Fuel dropped from the Void Sea to be upgraded. Now you'll see that we actually already have 5 mods already ready to go. So this will be the 6th one. So you're going to have to do this 6 times. And then on the 6th one, we're going to be going to an area and we're going to fight a boss. So let's go ahead and select this one. And you'll see this little animation will open up. We're doing difficulty 7 right now, and as you progress, you'll start ramping up your difficulty as you increase the nether realm like tier, the ranking. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Now, the boss on here is relatively difficult for the amount of damage that it outputs, but it's pretty easy once you learn the pattern, and I'll basically show you guys the pattern. So we'll go and curse the boss over here. So they summon a bunch of cannons. Those cannons will do a massive amount of damage because they will all stack. Basically, there's going to be multiple cannons that come out. I just move out of the way with my mobility, and this is the one that's really dangerous over here. So make sure you don't get hit by that one. And then you can kind of stay away from the boss, unless you're playing melee, of course. Then you got to be right next to it. But since I'm playing a build where I could sit further back and actually do more damage based on how far away we are, that's how I kind of play. But basically, don't get hit by the cannons, and you'll be a-okay. You can see I made it look pretty easy, but if those cannons do hit you, and there's a lot of them, it can do massive amounts of damage. I'm going to show you guys my reward. Now, hopefully we'll get some Flame Elementium, because that's kind of the thing that we're looking to get. Alright, so right there you can see we got 7 Flame Elementium. Oh, actually 8, so it's just 6 stacks right here. And that is because I got a bunch of the upgrades for it. Now, I took a bunch of screenshots and I'm going to share them with you guys really quick so you can see kind of what you're looking for, because Flame Elementium is kind of the most important one. This was like another drop that I had more recently. And this one over here, you can see that we got 3, 4, 5. The amount that you get may vary. But looking at some of the other modifiers that I can recommend for beginner players are getting anything that has to do with the flame fuel. You can see over here that there's one that's actually interesting. It's called Whispers of Wealth, and it has a 50% chance for rare gear dropped from the Void Sea treasures to become flame fuel. So there are other modifiers. If you get this one, there sometimes will be ones where it says like you can get additional rare gear. That might be okay, because if you get like 3 additional rare pieces of gear and you have this one also in the selection, you will then be able to get like 50%, like, you know, at least hopefully 1 out of the 3 like rare pieces of gear will be a flame fuel, and then you want to get the upgrade. So this is actually the most important one, is to get the percent chance for flame fuel dropped from Void Sea treasures to be upgraded. That is the most important one. I know that there's rarity. We have like the white would be the common, then we have the uncommon, and then we have the purple ones, and then there is a gold one. So that is the order and rarity. But this one is so important that you must get it almost every single time that you see Whispers of Wonder. For the chance of it being upgraded, take that one. It doesn't matter if there's another one, unless it's like a gold that like you really need for a specific thing. If you don't have this, when you open up the chest, the chances of getting lots of Flame Elementium diminish a lot. You can see also as an option, sometimes you may not get Whispers of Wealth or something that you can get a huge benefit from. So getting just 1 additional flame fuel can be okay as well. You can see again, even if it's gray, I don't care about 5 additional flame fuel because they're going to be low rarity. If I have 0 of the chance for it to be upgraded. Again, that's the most important thing I wanted to mention. You can see this is the rare gear one again. I got a few of these in the gameplay as well. And then there's another one over here that you might have to like scroll down to read all of it, but there's a Whisper of Wonder that makes it so the flame fuel, embers, and fluorescent memories to be actually doubled. So that's actually an okay one as well. You can see over on the right side, these are some of the ones that I kind of recommended you guys to go for. And if you can always check over on the top right what your rewards currently are if you just want to refresh, because sometimes you're doing so many of these you don't remember, did I get the rare armor upgrade, or whatever the case may be for your build. Again, you can get extra flame fuel to appear. You can get, in terms of like the drops, you can get a 50% and there's 100%. Obviously, the 100% is better than all of them, so don't select too fast. The more that you do, the more options that you will see. And then again, Whispers of Wealth is the one that you really want to kind of try to go for. Now, in addition to that, I want to also go over the brand new thing in the hero traits that are new to the Blacksail season here. So if I click on the hero trait, we actually, I think, got the invitation. There's actually an invitation that you can get. That you can, let's see, okay, here it is. So the Void Sea Invitation Craving. So there is another boss to fight. I want to make a dedicated video for this boss, but there is like another newer thing here. But it's very, very, very difficult, just as a heads up. And even if you can like roll like the another realm mark, like the tier 7, you still will need to make your character very good for that boss. But we'll talk more about that in a later video. What I do want to show off is the brand new things that can drop. So these items over here are basically a huge power boost to your character. So what you can do is you can get these items that have additional sockets. They can go up to 5, but it's relatively rare to get them. Actually, let me show it off in the trade house. So we're gonna go back to town. The reason why is because I want to show it off for multiple different classes, as each class, some of them they do overlap, like you can just equip them. Some of them, however, they will be specifically for your class. Let me go into the trade house this way. It'll be a little bit better. So if I click on the very last one over here, and we go to where is it? This one. Okay, so there's a hero relic, and then there's the hero memory. So there's several different ones. There's even legendary ones, and I want to show you guys some of the legendary ones, because the legendary ones, is it in? Okay, here we go. It's in this one. So you can see that they have sockets, and the sockets zones may matter because you'll unlock them as you level up your character in the hero traits, right? So you can see if I was to click search, some of these could be very, very expensive. This one has 4 sockets. Some of them will affect the even or the odd one. So there's lots of really cool ideas for play here, but again, some of them will have more and or less sockets, or they'll be in certain zones, so you have to factor that in as well. These are very expensive. This one can actually go up to 5 sockets. Those are going to be the most expensive ones. But on top of that, there are ones specifically for your class, like this one over here, the Cat's Vengeance Diary. Some of these are absolutely amazing, and some of these can be very, very expensive. This one's not too bad, but there is also the memories. So the hero relic is basically the base of the item that has sockets for you put in the memories inside. And you can also get these with the new Blacksail mechanic. I just recommend you guys to get flame fuel, as these items can be purchased. And it's really hard to get the like really, really good ones. You're better off getting flame fuel, flame Elementium, and then just buying the one that you want off of the trade house. But there's really specific ones that can drop from the boss that are really good. If you are interested in doing any stacking of stats, I'm talking like strength. There's one that gives you strength, one gives you dex. So if you're looking to be a stacker, let me see if I can find out the X. Okay, here it is, star shooting. So if you want to be a dex stacker, this thing is absolutely amazing. There's a strength, and I'm sure there's an int stacking one, but there's stuff for stat stackers, which is really good. But there's also ones that unlock, and I'm going to select the Erica one over here. So there's one that activates Cat Dive, which is really, really good. If you click on Cat Dive, what does it do? During our multi-strike, there's a chance for this attack to deal damage equal to the max multi-strike count for every 5% movement speed you have, and it has +1 maximum multi-strike count for every stack of Stalker that you have, which is crazy. This thing alone will give you just astronomically high DPS. If you're looking for do like, if you're looking to get 99999 mil, like to max it out, yeah, you're probably going to be wanting this. But these are very, very expensive and very, very rare. But there's like another one for
buy or sell.
Our
help yourself to the catalog.
Go back over here. We go to the memories. There's another one. This one I think is a lot cheaper. Let's see. Yeah, this one's a lot cheaper, but this is still pretty good. You get extra multi-strike chance for every 2 meters of movement made during catch, up to 300%. That's pretty good. I mean, being able to get up to 300% extra multi-strike chance is 3 additional hits. That's great, right? But yes, some of these are going to be more expensive than others, but this is also part of the Blacksail mechanic, so I felt like it was important to kind of share this. But you cannot modify these, I believe. Like, you can't just get one item. Like, they don't have to be legendary. You can get them as other rarity. But again, since we're playing Erica, we're going to be getting tips for cats, and you can see some of the modifiers. We have additional regain interval. We have extra movement speed, and these also have a rarity tied to them. You can see that there's a purple, and then there is like the gold, the legendary color. So you can definitely build around some of these, and some of these do stack on top of each other, which is quite cool. But yeah, if you're looking for a very specific thing, obviously go into the advanced tab and type things. But it's usually made for your character. It's going to be related to like multi-strikes, attack speed. There is also HP sometimes on these, so if you're looking to get a little bit more defensive, that is an option. Like, okay, here we go, there's max life. And this one's only 1. Like, you can see why I was telling you guys, just farm the Flame Elementium, don't get extra hero memories to, like, transfer these to drop, unless you just really want to get, like, the basic ones. You'll eventually start getting these as you progress, but I would start building my, my Void Seal like chest around just getting currency. And if you ever want to check, you can talk to this guy and you can click on Void Sea Terminal. Right now we don't have any done, so there's going to be 0, but if I want to check out like what I have and which ones that we've done and how many I need, remember you're going to have to do this 6 times, and then you get to go fight the boss, which I showed you, and then you get to open up the chest. Now there is, again, another boss, but that's going to be saved for another video, because a lot of people ask me, what am I doing, how do you do the league mechanic, and is it worth doing? So I would say, in terms of is it worth doing, I'm sure a lot of you guys notice you don't get really that much Flame Elementium until you get to time mark 7, if you guys have played. You can start getting it at time mark 5. Now, would I recommend doing the league mechanic, the Blacksail, earlier on? It might be the easiest way to maybe get just like 1 or 2 Flame Elementium. It's not like it's going to drop every single time, but if you're able to get 1 to 2 Flame Elementium, like before you hit level 60, once you hit level 60, you can just go buy a item that you may need for your build. Just something that if you are playing any like stacker build or anything earlier on, just to get a high DPS weapon for 1 Flame Elementium can definitely be worth it. But after that, I would say work on your time marks, get that higher, and then once you're at tier 7, I would say that you're getting a lot more of the gold ones versus like the white ones in terms of like the roles in like your Void Seal, like the selections that you can have. I've definitely noticed when I was doing it earlier on, I don't think I even got any golds, but like as I'm going up, I start to see them a little bit more frequently. So take that with a grain of salt, because everyone's mileage may vary, especially at the lower range section of the game where you're at lower time marks, and you'll get more options, and there's going to be more purple monsters to kill as you progress. So it might be better off to save it. Again, once you get your like 1 or 2 Flame Elementium, get an item, then just try to get up to at least, I would say, time mark 5 is where I start seeing a lot more Flame Fuel being dropped in the game, and then start doing the league mechanic. But that's at least my recommendation for the league mechanic, and I think it is definitely a lot better, and it's a lot more enjoyable than the last league, so this is pretty cool. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and pretty much wrap it up for this little guide here. But if you guys haven't played Torchlight, and for whatever reason you decided to watch this guide on the league mechanic and how it works and some tips and tricks for beginners, the download link of Torchlight Infinite will be down below. But big shouts to XD and the Torchlight team for sponsoring this video, although I was going to play it anyways, so it was a win-win. But anyways, yeah, download it if you haven't in the pinned comment, and if you guys are new here, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on that bell if you'd like to see more stuff like the other boss that I want to show off later down the line. But anyways, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.